Hey groupies, welcome back to Form of Therapy. I am the video channel producer, you can call me PD. And today we are checking out Loca by girl group Pe이버릿. I haven't checked out any of Pe이버릿's stuff. I completely missed their debut and their first comeback. It was totally off my radar. I really only was put onto Pe이버릿 with Loca. People started suggesting it, and this came out in January, so we're playing catch up. It had like the camera that was busted. It was a whole thing. So I couldn't react for a while and watch content. But we're here. We're gonna be checking out Loca. I know absolutely nothing about Pe이버릿, so afterwards in the post review, we're gonna be doing a little bit of a dive, just learn a little bit more. But for now, let's check out the music video. This is your Form of Therapy. Oh, okay. This is not what I expected. Ooh, this is really not what I expected. Okay. I like the bouncy EDM beat, you know? So I'm really usually 50-50 on this because it's kind of becoming like sort of a tried concept, but I like it here. And I'm liking the approach with this music video too. There's a very heavy floral influence. Yeah, even the wallpaper. Then you have the roses here. Also, the lighting here is absolutely beautiful. I like the use of the overhead magenta lighting. Oh! This set is also nice. I really like their lighting setup in this music video for the dance scene. That was a great use of slow-mo for the, sort of like the wind down of the, Why does she remind me of Sugi? Also, how many rappers are in this group? I like this girl. Her singing / rapping, it's very, very charming. It's very charismatic. Wow. That was a dope shot. Okay. The camera work for the dance scenes, very impressed. The lighting and the cinematography for the dance scenes and the storyline glamour shots are actually very different, but I think it's completely okay. I think it totally works. Seriously, the magenta hair light is really dope. There's a blue hair light right there. Alright, so Google defines loca as the feminine form of loco, which is the Spanish adjective for mad. I knew loco, I didn't realize loca was a feminine equivalent of it. So she's saying, I'm going mad. The lyrics here portray someone who's sort of going mad, missing this person, and they need you to save them. Their head's spinning, they're going crazy, they're dizzy, and they need you, and they sort of can't stop thinking about you. Now this sort of has a very festive feeling to it. So I find the song interesting because the lyrics, they have a very desperate sort of sense to them. The song actually being fast-paced and having sort of like that tropical Latin influence actually gives this a little bit of a sense of urgency. I really feel that sort of desperation coming from them, and the dancing actually I think really emphasizes that too. We will talk about the dancing and the camera work in just a little bit, but I like the song. It's a very tried genre at this point. It's not anything new. It's not exactly breaking or inventing a new wheel, but I think it's really good. I think it really says something when it's a very tried genre, and it's something that honestly I could say that I'm sick of. When a new group comes and they do something in that genre, either they do it differently or they just do it and I like it, that says something. So I do like it. While I don't think that it's not anything innovative, I think the more innovation comes from the actual production of this. I think the production of this was really good. I still like the song. Speaking of the production, I actually really enjoyed the music video. I was a little confused at first because the cinematography is a little flip-floppy here, but it's actually not a bad thing. There's basically two different styles of cinematography in this video. You have the, what I just refer to as the storyline video or the B-roll video, and then you've got the dance/choreo version. They're both lit very differently, so the music video actually looks very different in different portions. To sort of explain the differences between the two looks, the best way I can say is that this is more of a cinema look and this is more of a video look. So cinema look refers to having that sort of dark tones, darker shadows, and it looks like a movie. It's got a sort of mistiness to it. But the video look refers to the more modern digital look with the sharp HD quality, sometimes faster frame rate, and that's what the dance portion looks like, because I think these were shot very differently, and also lighting plays a big role into it. First of all, so the storyline stuff looks like very typical cinema look, but the actual dance portions is kind of where it shines. I actually really like the set design for the magenta scene with the fences and like the, what are they called? Not a grapevine, but it's for roses. The way those plants cover all of the fence gate looking backdrop and the way they have like the falling trees, it actually creates a great three-dimensional effect. I actually really like that they added something coming down from up top instead of just having a backdrop, because it creates a nice framing for the scene. And while it does feel like the scene is a little tight, they actually make it work by adding those multiple layers. So adding the top scene coming down and then having the subjects here, and then they actually have multiple parts to the wall. So they've got like these two sections here with the rose petals and the flowers, and they have another wall behind that, which I think is sort of like a door, and that creates multiple spaces in the depth of field, which kind of makes the set feel much larger than it actually is. It's a very good example of how the set design can manipulate the visual filmmaking. And I really like the lights they had going on. It's not uncommon to have sort of the magenta teal setup in a music video, but they had only the magenta setup, which created a very romantic mood. The colors red or anything related to the red family tends to create either a very angry or a passionate mood, and passion often equates to romance. And so it was a very romantic, beautiful mood. And it looks like they had magenta light here, which created like a dark shadow on them. And then they had a hair light, which was mixed with just a bright LED over here. They're well lit, but they're not completely pink and purple. So it's like a mix of being well lit and having a very cool coloration. And then there's the scene where there's the other main dance scene. That's traditional color lighting. What I really like is that they had two backlights over here, and it was covered with the carpet. And they had lines running down the lines of the corners of the walls as well, which created sort of like a walkway, pathway type feel, which again creates a nice little framing device. It's a great subconscious frame that creates dot dot line here. So it creates a nice little box, and then you have the decorations that sort of go outside of that depth of field. The set design here was actually really nice. And also the dance scenes had a lot of very intense camera work. It wasn't just shot like the B-rolls. It had moments where it would just rush into the members, and then it would have like these fast pans and whips. That was shot like it was actually a dance video. It's a little jarring when you mix it with like a more cinematic look with the B-roll, but I think it's what makes the dance look cool. And I think when it comes to a music video, it's completely fine and it's totally forgivable if you do that. What I liked about it was that these two dance scenes, one was magenta, one was bright yellow. It's more lively and it looks a lot more crisp, and it looks just very well saturated. While the other scenes are slightly desaturated, it looks cold and bleak. And the song is about this person who is missing another person. They yearn for another person. They need them to save them. When they dance, those dance scenes, it feels like a performance where they're sort of like yearning for that person. And so even though you have these desaturated, bleak scenes, I feel like they're countered by those well-saturated scenes, and it sort of shows both sides of how they're feeling. They feel cold and empty and lonely in these other scenes, but then you have the scenes where they're dancing, yearning and begging to be saved. That being bright colored shows their passion, and it shows the urgency of their feelings. So I think that part is actually really cool as well. Overall, I think this was a great music video. So like I said, I totally missed when this group debuted. I looked it up, and it looks like they debuted in 2017 under S-Tori Entertainment. They debuted with My Favorite. Looks like, I can't get a reading on what the title track is. It's either Hello Party Time My Day or With All My Strength. That's their EP. They are a 6-member group. 가을, 세봄, 서연, 수경, 정희, and Ara. Their first comeback was nearly a year later. That's not really good, but even companies that aren't part of the big three that have a lot of money, like Starship, Q, they have comebacks much more frequently than this. But when you are a smaller company like S-Tori and you don't have insane revenue coming in and out, especially for a beginner starter group, you tend to have very slow comebacks. So it looks like it was a 10-month wait, and then Loca was only an 8-month wait, which came out January of this year. Oh, I think it was called Party Time. I think that was their debut song. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more from Favorite. Why don't you guys let me know if you guys want me to check out their debut and their first comeback. Anyways guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my reaction and review of Loca by Favorite. Let me know what you thought about the song and the music video in the comments down below. Also, be sure to follow us on social media. You can find us on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. Get a look at some of the behind the scenes in the Form of Therapy office. You can find us at Form of Therapy on all of social media across the board. Also, if you would like to support us, go to patreon.com/formofTherapy. For as little as $2 a month, you get early access to reaction videos just like this. And hey, there is more perks coming in the future, so tune in for that. So that's patreon.com/formofTherapy. But if you can't support us monetarily, that's completely fine. Why don't you go ahead and just click like down below right there, turn on that notification bell and click subscribe over there, and go ahead and check out all my other videos over here.